What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, man. In this video, I want to do like basically a response video to Ticket TV's video. It was a post-game video of the Lakers. They lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves by the final score of 108-86. And with that loss, they dropped to 21-19 on the year. They are now, I think they've been in this position for a little while. They're in 8th spot in the Western Conference, and they're only one game ahead of Utah Jazz for the 9th spot. So, and the next game is a road game against the Dallas Mavericks. And, of course, the Dallas Mavericks are not a great team, but they're definitely right now a better team than the Lakers. And of course, they boast a player that many people see as a leading candidate for Rookie of the Year, Luka Doncic. And I think Luka's averaging like 19 plus points per game right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if Luka goes off for maybe more than 30 points against the Lakers when they play them. I think a lot of teams smell blood in the water when it comes to the Lakers right now, man. And the Lakers right now, man, are just not a really good team, man. They're not a good team, and it really doesn't make any sense, man. And I gotta shit on Lonzo Ball. I gotta do it, man. Right now, the Lakers don't have LeBron James. They do not have Rajon Rondo. They do not have, I don't know for how much longer, but especially to tonight's game, they did not have Kyle Kuzma. So you are Lonzo Ball, this heavily touted, heavily hyped fucking player, big baller brand, right? This heavily touted player, second pick of the draft. His daddy said that he's better than Stephen Curry. He's better than LeBron James and all this shit. And tonight, when you should have led your team to a victory against a below average team like the Timberwolves, who are only 19-21 or 18-21 before the game, what does Lonzo Ball do? He goes scoreless. 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc, a whopping 4 assists for this great passing first point guard, 1 turnover, 6 rebounds. I mean, and the thing that get me about Lonzo Ball fans is they'll brag about like the 6 rebounds, like that's really something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure it might have been a game where Steve Kerr had 6 rebounds. Maybe in his career, you know, it might have been one game where he had 6 rebounds. Like the 6 rebounds is really like showing his, showing his dominance as an NBA player and shit. This guy's a fucking bum. Compared to the hype that he got, he's a fucking bum. He's only shooting 40.3% from the floor this year. He's barely cracking 40%. You know, it's going to be a Too Raw video about my phone dying. But anyway, he's only at 40.3% shooting from the floor. He's only at 32.8, I think, percent three-point shooting. This is a guy that some people say was going to be a marksman in the league. And worst of all, absolute worst of all, he's 44%. He's steadily dropping. He's dropped from 49% to 48% to 45%. And now he's a career 44% free throw shooter. Statistically, he's the 3rd worst free throw shooter in the history of the NBA, the third worst free throw shooter behind only Ben Wallace and DeAndre. No, not DeAndre George. Excuse me, and Andre Drummond. That's it. You look at the Lakers organization, man, and Ticket was alluding to this in this video, man. You look at the Lakers organization, man, and the history they've had all the way back to when they were still in Minneapolis, which would explain why they called the Lakers, because there's no fucking lakes in LA. But look at their history, man. They were the first dynasty in the NBA. They won 5 championships in the late 1940s, all the way through the early 1950s, led by the legendary George Mikan, okay, and along with Vern Mickelson and Slater Martin, Jack Pollard, all right, and then of course they moved to the Lakers. They had Elgin Baylor, then later on Jerry West, Rudy LaRusso, all right, Gail Goodrich, you know what I'm saying? Then later on, of course, they had Wilt Chamberlain, you know what I'm saying? And they won another title. Then, of course, the teams with the 80s, all right, you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Norm Nixon, Jamal Wilkes, Byron Scott, Michael Thompson, all right, just balling, legendary players. Then, of course, Kobe Shaq era, Robert Horry, all right, Rick Fox, Derek Fisher. Then later on, they won 2 more titles. Paul Gasol, Metta World Peace, Andrew Bynum, who fucking ruined his career. He could have had a Hall of Fame caliber career, but anyway. Even in the early to mid '90s, the Lake Show, they weren't a great team, but at least they were like an entertaining club to watch. You know what I'm saying? Vlade Divac and Nick Van Exel. Jesus, who else was on that fucking team? Was it Anthony Peeler? I can't think of the guy's name, man. But you know, they had like an interesting team. You know what I'm saying? But this team is a travesty. And if LeBron doesn't hurry his ass up and come back, man, and I don't even think LeBron at this stage of his career can drag this team but so far. I'm 100% agreement with Ticket TV. They need to fire Luke Walton. Oftentimes, the catalyst to an NBA team moving to another level is finding the right coach. And Luke Walton is not the coach that's going to lead you to an NBA championship. For instance, Mike Brown. I'll use him as an example. Mike Brown was not the type of coach that's going to lead you to an NBA championship. Even when Cleveland won 61 games that year, you know, Mike Brown's deficiencies as a coach often came up during the postseason. And that's why Mike Brown is, I think, the only coach to win Player of the Year to be fired the next season. Well, the only coach to win Head Coach of the Year to be fired next year. Then later on, when LeBron came back, you know what I'm saying? After that Christmas Day game, all right, Cleveland fired their head coach at the time and installed, what's his name? Jesus, I'm fucking up with getting names today right now. Tyronn Lue. And they made it to the NBA Finals that year. They probably would have won it if they hadn't lost Kyrie, you know what I'm saying, and Kevin Love. And then next year they won it all. 2006 Miami Heat. Stan Van Gundy wasn't really cutting it. He resigned. All right. Pat Riley came down from the office and coached that team to a world title. And right now, I think the guy for that team, his familiarity with the organization, right now, is Phil Jackson. All right. The only concern I had at one point in time was his health. I thought I remember Phil Jackson having a heart operation some years ago, but it might not have been a serious situation. But people talk about his age. Hey, man, 72, 73 years old at this day and age is